Andy Peters and Kat Deely brought his attention to a petition calling for another election, which at the time of recording is at 2.73 million signatures. Here is what Starmer had to say about it.
Look, I remind myself that very many people didn't vote Labour at the last election. I'm not surprised that many of them want a rerun. That isn't how our system works. There will be plenty of people who didn't want us in the first place. So, look, what I focus on is the decisions that I have to make every day.
Okay, so listen. The man behind this petition, who's the landlord of the Wagon and Horses pub in Oldbury, is a chap called Michael Westwood. And his big selling point was that he was selling pints for £2.40 at the pub, which is a sort of inflation-busting price. He also voted Tory at the last election. He told Nick Ferrari on LBC why he started the petition.
If the system's broken, if Storm sits there yesterday and says this is not how our country works, well, should we sit up and think, well, why doesn't it work? Why shouldn't we listen to the people? Maybe if the system's broken, we should sit and look at fixing it, maybe, rather than just burying head in the sand and carrying on with what's always been done.
Just for the listeners, Nish is holding his head in his hand.
I'm going to give myself a hernia.
Exasperated.
Trying to talk about this in a reasonable way. Listen, the only reason that this petition is getting so much attention is because it's being highlighted by Conservative commentators and opposition politicians. And for some reason, Michael Caine, who's also just sort of waded into this issue.
Michael Caine is on a singular mission to ruin some of my favourite films.
Conservative Party Chairman Nigel Hudson declared the honeymoon well and truly over. Nigel Farage remarked that he's never seen a petition move this fast. But perhaps the member for Clacton should be reminded, in 2019, a petition calling for Brexit to be cancelled received 6.1 million signatures. And did that amount to anything? It did not. So a lot of the people who've been most loudly trumpeting the values of this petition are also the people who were very, very angry about the idea of there being any kind of scrutiny of Brexit. And what I would say to these people is, this is not like Brexit. Brexit was a decision that was made that will not be overturned for generations, right? If you are unhappy with this Labour government, there is a constitutional mechanism that will allow you to throw them out of office. And it's called a general election. And the reason that we have term limits on parliaments that can't be recalled unless there is will to do so from within the House is because if we constantly went to the public on an annual basis, there would be no time to legislate on things. There would be no time for the business of government to actually take place. I don't want to sound anti-democratic here, but this is a load of shit. Like, this whole thing is just a load of shit because we know millions of people didn't want Labour to be in office. We also know millions of people that voted for Labour that are not happy with the direction of travel of the current government. It's just bullshit that's being elevated by bad actors within the political system and also from outside the political system. Because once again, the man who looks like someone stretched skin over a shipping container, Elon Musk, has weighed in because he tweeted, the people of Britain have had enough of a tyrannical police state. It is so concerning that an incredibly wealthy man has essentially been able to buy his way into influence within the American government and is consistently and unhelpfully weighing in on British political issues, okay? He is a huge factor in the circumstances that drove the race riots that happened in this country in August. It is something we really, really need to be mindful of. Now he seems to have bought his way into the highest echelons of American government, but he is still weighing in on this issue.
I can't believe we have the misfortune of Elon Musk being interested in us, just simply by the virtue that we speak the same language. I have never wanted Britain to be bilingual more. If you were Swiss, you'd just be like, you know what, let's all just talk in German for the next bit. Just to this guy, he just can't participate. I think it's also worth mentioning that the petition is easily open to manipulation. All you need to do is share an email address. You then tick a box to say that you're a UK citizen. You enter a UK postcode. I mean, it's not really that hard to get a UK postcode. Find it on the Google. And of course, you can always misrepresent yourself as a UK citizen. There has actually been some posts on X circulating where people have tried to crunch the data of who's signing this, and it seems to be coming from all around the world. So not entirely sure this is valid.
Last week, we had a fantastic chat with disinformation expert Jamie Bartlett, where we explored why Musk is so interested in messing with the UK's political system. And there is a special uncut version on our YouTube page right now, which you should check out if you haven't already. But ironically, Jamie did make the point that perhaps in the digital age, our way of doing democracy, which is a vote on national government every 5 years, should change. But perhaps not in this way. Democracy is a kind of fragile balancing act between constantly getting the people to have their say and have the opinion of the populace heard, but also actually allowing government to not constantly be in campaign and election mode and actually get on with the business of governing. We need actual legislation that can actually do things that improve people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, maybe some people very innocently believe, oh, well, actually, how else will I show the Labour government that I'm frustrated with them? We can assure you, they definitely know. The opinion polls have shown that Starmer's approval has fallen sharply. They're very well aware of it. And actually, if we want a real test, it's coming. In May next year, we've got the 2025 council elections, and I think everyone's going to be looking closely at those. The
council elections, there's going to be plenty of by-elections as the cycle of the parliament goes on, and eventually you will get the opportunity to vote them out, which I would encourage, if you're unhappy, you to do. Just don't waste your time engaging with these kind of pointless petitions, demanding an election that there is no constitutional mandate for them to give you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's just, you know, as usual, Nigel Farage has shit his pants and we're all required to give him attention over it.